to the show. My name is Angel Lorenzana, and I got my co-hosts next to me, sitting to the right of me. Both of them.
Who do you have there?
I'm Haley Newman. This is
Rafa. And next to me, I have one of the biggest celebrities that I know in Lubbock, Texas. I'm very proud and very happy that she's able to make it to our first podcast. And with you guys, Chrissy, Covington.
Hi, hello. Oh, thanks, guys.
I'd bow, but I don't want to move the mic.
Hey, go ahead. No, it's fine.
She'll get mad at me.
Okay, yeah, word.
Yeah, so Chrissy's our guest, and she does stand-up comedy, right? You do stand-up comedy, and you're on the radio?
Yes, I am.
What radio are you on?
I host the #1 morning show in Lubbock. It's the rock show on 94.5 FMX.
Numero uno.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Hell yeah, that's what's up.
How long you been doing that?
I've been doing it for 4 years now. I think my 4th anniversary was just a couple weeks ago.
Hey, congrats.
So, I know. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. It's been 4 years.
She's very talented. She sings, she plays the piano. What else do you do? You have all the
drugs mainly, but
well, I shouldn't
just kidding.
mention that as a talent, but okay.
Kidding. No, I don't.
Show's just the front.
I do like to play the piano. I do sing. I try to do both those things in my stand-up. And that's how we know each other, right? It's through stand-up. So how many years have we known each other now?
Jesus, I can't remember. 4 or 5?
6. I feel like
Six?
because I've been on the show for 4 and I knew you before that, right? So I think I've known you for 6 years, probably.
That is true, probably 5 or 6.
Wow.
Correct. Because I remember you left Lubbock. You went to, what's the name of the city?
Minnesota.
You were there for a while. You were there, 6 months or somewhere like that?
And then
then they called you to be in the show.
Did you do comedy when you were out in Minnesota?
Actually, the pandemic happened right after I got there. So I guess I got there in January, and then all of a sudden we weren't working anymore. But I had plans to do stand up there, but I got called to move back here before that. So
you got called to serve?
Yeah, called to serve on the radio.
Kind of like that.
That kind of is how it felt.
Did you audition in Minnesota for the show and then move down here for it?
So I didn't even apply for the show or anything. I didn't even think about being on the radio. I was, it's stupid. I had been running on the highway next to the place I was living out in the woods every day during the freaking pandemic when we're all home from work.
Like as exercise?
Yes, just exercise. Okay. No, just from a bear. Okay. I was running. Yeah. So I had been running on the highway every day. And in my mind, this sounds dumb, but I feel like I was trying to manifest, I was like, okay, what can I do with stand-up? How can I perform more whenever this is all over? And I was thinking about it constantly. And I was playing my piano and I was renting a place to make music. And then one morning while I was playing Risk on PS4, smoking a joint and drinking a beer, I think I'd been drinking all night, just doing nothing. I had nothing else to do. I got a phone call from Wes, and he just said, he's like, I tracked your phone number down. When are you going to be in Lubbock again? I was like, is this Wes Nessman? I was so shocked because I grew up listening to him on the radio. I'd only ever met him one time at a stand-up at the Lubbock Laugh Off. Oh, yeah. I met him there one time, and I didn't even think he liked me. In fact, whenever I met him, he just stood up and looked at me up and down, and then just turned around and sat down. I was like, that guy doesn't like me. And but whenever the position came open, he remembered me and he got my phone number and called me and asked me if I would move back to Lubbock for it. I was like, what?
You didn't have plans to move back.
No, I didn't ever want to come.
And he just remembered you.
Yes, he remembered me.
Stay from here.
Yeah, I did not want to come back here at all. There was no.
Did he pay moving expenses?
I don't know.
I'm just curious,
No, so what happened was, he was like, it's a long shot, but I don't have a partner anymore. His partner died, which is really awful. And he's like, I don't have a partner anymore. So, I told them I really don't want them to bring another radio weirdo from elsewhere that I don't know, and I've seen you do stand-up, and I liked it, and I like the sound of your voice. So it's a long shot since you've never done any radio, but we'll try to figure it out. So then I had 6 weeks of interviews, phone interviews from people all over the United States. They're like, what makes you think that you should sit next to Wes Nessman and do that? I was like, I don't know, because he fucking asked me to. I didn't even know what to say. I was like, I don't know. But I got through all of that, and then I drove all the way here for what I thought was more of an audition. But I come to find out whenever I left the building that he actually played that whole show on the radio that morning, which I did not know. He did not tell me this, probably to make me less nervous or something. So I thought we were just doing some little mic checks. No,
that's the real deal.
Yeah, and so I did that, and then I drove all the way back to Minnesota. I came in 2 days and did that and drove all the way back.
That's a really long drive.
I know.
Did you do it in one go?
Yes. And I drove all the way back and then just like crossed my fingers that they would call me back, and they did. So, and then I moved here. Nice. And it was awesome. For real. It was really cool. All of it's been really cool.
But let's go back from the beginning, because there might be a lot of people that might not be familiar with you, and
yes.
they don't know you. Were you born in Lubbock? Where were you born?
I was actually born in Muncie, Indiana. My family's all from Lubbock and West Texas. Okay. But my dad was going to school at Ball State University in Muncie whenever I was born. So we were there till I was about 5, and then we moved here. So I did grow up going to elementary school, junior high, and high school here. So I'm pretty much from here, right? I think
think so.
Yeah. I think that.
Yeah. What part of Minnesota did you live in?
I lived in Bemidji.
Whoa, that's clear up there. Don't they have the lumberjack statue there?
Yeah, that's where Paul Bunyan, the big blue ox are from. Yeah. So I was like an hour south of Canada, so like way up there on the border. So it was way.
So you mentioned when Wes called you were playing video games and high off your rocker. What were you playing?
Risk. Like board game, but on PS4.
Nice.
I like to play it online with other people. Yeah. I used to play like 6 games a day. I haven't played in a long time.
Okay. So you're like pretty much, because earlier when we were talking, you said pretty much that stand-up comedy helped you get the job for the radio show, which I'm assuming you're kind of grateful for.
Oh my God. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, that's the only reason I have my job is because I did stand-up.
Nice.
I remember I went to vacation to Mexico, and I came back after 2 or 3 weeks being there, and all of a sudden I see Chrissy, and everybody seems to know her name, and I never seen her in my life, but I was very interested. She's very cute, and she has beautiful eyes, and she has certain personality and a very distinctive voice also that I really, really like. And I was kind of intimidated, to tell you the truth, you know what I mean? But it was weird to me. It's like, how come everybody knows? I've never seen her. And then I saw her act, and I was like, oh, whoa, okay, that's why she's popular.
Yeah, everybody was really nice to me, but I think it's because I went and watched everyone else for like 3 or 4 weeks before I really like wrote out my first set and really practiced it like into the ground, and like made sure that it was 5 minutes long, and made sure I knew every punchline, every word, and everything, and like practiced it over and over for Christian Rivera. He's the one who was like, you should do stand up. And so whenever I did go do my first set was really good. In fact, I listened to it the other day. It's one of the best ones I've ever had.
First one?
Yeah, but like it's weird to hear it now, because like my comedy is completely different kind of from it now. It's just much more comfortable like in front of an audience. So back then it was almost like a monologue. It was very like,
Gotcha.
Not predictable, but in my mind I guess it is,
Yeah, so I have a question, compared to right now, like, well, how active are you when it comes to like comedy? Like, are you? Because I've seen you at the open mics kind of like recently a couple times, and I've been out here probably for like 6 months consistently. But the question is like, because I'm new in Lubbock, right? And I can imagine like people that are going to be watching this are like people we know, local Lubbock. So how would you compare the scene when you first started doing comedy to like? And has there been like different, has it evolved? Has it changed? And like, I'm not saying to drop names or say anything, but like, it's just brief, like, or
it's way different. It's way different, isn't it? It's way different.
Okay.
It's a lot different. But I don't, like I said, I don't get to go out like you just said. I don't get to go out very often. I get up really early, so like I used to host that open mic at Bar PM before Morgan.
That's right.
Had it, yeah. But I realized really quickly I didn't do it for very long. It was only for maybe like a month and a half or something. I realized very quickly that I could not get up early to do my job that pays me to write jokes. If I stayed out late and drank there and had fun, so I couldn't do it anymore. But that's why I don't go out to open mic very much. But I do other shows. Like if I'll do like a feature or do whatever,
Yeah, that's cool.
So I think I've probably done, I don't know, 6 or 7 shows this year.
Nice.
Maybe more than that. I don't know. I'm not sure.
You did the big one back in February.
Did have a big one in February. That was my biggest night. Yeah, that
was huge.
That was really awesome.
We had like 400 people there. What was that place?
That was completely full. Yeah, Jake's Back Room. That was a really good show. The Stupid Cupid comedy show. That was good.
Did you open for someone at
Buddy Holly Hall?
Did we mention that already?
What's his name?
I did. I opened for Steve Trevino.
Steve Trevino, yeah.
I think I was the first. Well, I mean, I think that was one of the first performances at Buddy Holly. It might have been the first one.
Okay.
I'm not sure, because they had been closed because of the pandemic. And so it was, everybody was every other seat and like masks and all of that. And so I think that might have been the first thing that they ever did there. And it was really scary. It scared as shit.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I haven't been to the Buddy Holly theater.
It's big.
Yeah, it's big.
It was big, and it was in the. Yeah, it was. It was.
Was it in the big one? There's like it seats like 2,300 people.
I think there was like one show. I think there was like 980, and the next one was like 1,200 something. And yeah.
Is that where Felipe Esparza is going to be?
Yes.
Next year in February. Okay.
Yes.
I want to go to that. That
yes.
seems pretty cool. Okay.
Yes. That's
you gonna open
awesome.
for him?
Probably not.
They're trying to work it out for me to open for that, but I don't know if it's going to happen yet or
cool.
not. So
Hey, that would be cool.
let's spread that rumor now.
Yeah, let's start.
They did tell me at work they were trying to
say that at all. It's just
right. I am opening, or I am hosting the show for Omar Gooding on the 23rd this month. That's Cuba Gooding Jr.'s brother, I believe.
Oh, there's a plug right there.
Yeah,
Hey,
there you go.
that's cool.
Omar Gooding.
Where's it gonna be? In which city?
Dude, don't even ask me. An event center I've never been to, so we'll see. I don't know.
So how has like this comedy scene evolved here in Lubbock since you started? Like,
So, yeah,
was
back
it
to
fun
that.
before? What do you do, like? Did you like it at some certain era? Than
Yes.
Now, and
yeah.
I can imagine.
I mean, well, of course it was fun right when I first got into it, but there's a lot of really good comedians that don't come out anymore because of life, either they moved on or they are busy with their work and stuff. So like I miss a lot of the old timers that were around back then, that we don't see very often. So I get excited to see them. And then I can't really speak much for like the new people. I've seen some good stuff and some not good stuff, but it's just whatever, it's always been like that.
That's what it is, yeah.
It's always been like that. It was like that back then, but we had a very tight group for a couple years.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think like after Jared died, I mean honestly, the pandemic kind of messed up the comedy scene a little bit.
As it did everything.
It really did. It kind of like those like year and a half, 2 years just kind of fucked it up.
Gotcha.
So
yeah. All right. Because I'm new to Lubbock, like completely. I've only been here for like a year. And I'm even surprised that there was even a comedy scene.
Right.
When I was my cousin, I lived with her, and she kind of told me it's just like really chill, laid back place, like not much going on. But I was like okay. And then I think I went online. I think I went like on Reddit or something, and like I posted something like asking about open mics for comedy here in Lubbock, and somebody actually responded, and they're like, oh, here at Lantern Tavern this day, and so whatever. And so I mean, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like,
there's a way bigger scene than people realize. There's a lot. I mean, how many people do you think do comedy in Lubbock? Probably 30?
Yeah. I've seen,
or maybe 30, maybe more.
I've seen
because you'll have some people that come in and out and in and out. There might be 40
I would
of
say
us.
20 to like 15 to 20 regular.
Yeah, regulars. You're right.
It'd be cool to have, and me and Rafa were kind of like just like brainstorming of what we could like eventually evolve to in the future, and like it'd be cool to have like a freaking comedy festival or something like that.
Yeah,
like a local,
Lubbock one.
Yeah, like
I think that'd be great.
There've been talks about it to you too. When I started around, I don't know, 7 years or maybe longer than that, we only had one open mic, and it was at a place called Backstage in the Depot District. And then we had the Lantern, because they sold the place or whatever. And that's when I saw you at the Lantern. And we went from having just one open mic, and that was pretty much it. And we went to now sometimes we have an open mic pretty much every day,
right?
Or either that or showcases here and there.
Yeah.
So it's been expanding. So
back in the day, I wish that you got to see Cafe J when it was the art bar, because that wasn't it so cool? It was so cool in there, and it was full. It was packed every fucking night. Every time we had comedy, it was full. People were laughing. They were paying attention. Man, the other day when I went in there, that was sad. Like I was very sad about that.
That's how it is most Tuesdays.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, and that's when I first met you actually a couple weeks ago when you seen my set.
Oh, I know. Yeah, you were hilarious.
And so
you were.
Thanks.
And I wouldn't say it if you were. I was like, oh, that guy's fucking funny. I like him.
I'm an open micer, not a comedian, just to get that straight.
It's very funny.
Let me kind of break it down a bit, like what we got going on. This is a show, and you guys are stand-up comedians, right? Comedians. I'm an open micer.
I'm more like a storyteller too, but I mix in with the comedians and the stand-up.
These are a bunch of stand-up fucking comedians.
I like comedy. It's fun.
better when somebody else says it for you.
Yeah,
it's more
everyone's
official.
Welcome. This is how we all know each other.
I fucked up. I'm an open micer.
He's a stand-up comedian.
But
He's working on it, okay?
It is getting interesting though, because I'm only doing like the same fucking 7 minutes that I have like almost every mic. But I mean,
Nail
some of it's working.
Nail it.
Like,
Yeah, get him down.
You know, I worked my first 5 minutes to death.
Me too.
Because I was trying to learn different parts of it. So there was like the words that you're like, it's not enough just to have the words. Right? Like once you memorize the words, then you've got to act it out. You've got to be able to like not really think about what you're saying and connect with the audience and maybe riff and then come back.
Yeah.
So, I mean, my first 5 minutes, I think I worked like for the first 6 or 9 months. I don't know if you remember that.
I did too. I did the same thing. Yeah.
So what got you into comedy? Just those jogs on the highway?
No,
like, are you kind of a daredevil?
Doing stand-up
were you like
that.
flirting? Like, were you running in the middle lane, like right on the like lines?
I'd already been doing stand-up before that for about a year, and then I got into comedy, but I got into it because I came home from a really horrible road trip to Austin with this guy I was dating, and he tried to push me out of the car on I-35, and I told him.
And then he started running. That's when he started.
Then I started fucking running, and I was like, "What are we doing with our life? Let's manifest some shit." No, I got home and I was telling Christian Rivera, who's like, he's been my best friend. He's another local comic here. He's been my best friend since I was about 14 years old. And I was telling him about this fucking psycho guy I was dating. I guess I was being funny. We were drunk and I was being kind of funny about it, like really self-deprecating. He was like, "You should write all that down." And I was like, "Nah, dude." He's like, No, you should write all that down. I'll help you. Like goes and gets a spiral. And then we just worked on it. Like we wrote it like all night. And then I practiced it for like weeks. And I was so nervous to go. I was so like,
Did you say you guys were really high too?
oh yeah, we were
You didn't
fucked.
say that, but it kind of sounds like it.
Oh, we were fucked up. Yeah. Oh, definitely.
You got
high.
a second sense
Yeah,
for
we
it.
were fucked up, and we wrote it out together. And like he understood timing and everything because he'd been doing comedy for I don't even know how many years before that. I think he started when he was like 24 or something.
Yeah.
So he understood like timing and waiting for laughs and things like that, and like cutting out the shit that you don't need and like condensing it, trying to make sure you leave it with a laugh and all these other things that I didn't understand about stand up. It's one thing to go tell a funny story to your friends. It's another to like,
Try to get the laugh lines.
yeah. So he helped me clean it all up, and then I just ran it for him over and over and over and over and over. Like, I'm gonna tell you, like, probably 100 times.
Yeah.
And I ran it for. I ran it for a bunch of people. My second set, though, I ran for Jared Harper a whole bunch of times.
Okay.
I sat and I did it with him over and over. So
Did they like that when you were running with them? Was it?
Yeah, and they were really
enjoyed
helpful. So yeah, and then I immediately liked it, and then I would go to all the open mics every single week. I went to all of them. I always went to the Art Bar. I always went to the Lantern. We didn't have Bar PM at the time, I don't think.
We need it. There has to be a new. I want there to be. I mean, I'm
new
going to
spot?
host a new spot, and I don't know. I don't want to do it every Tuesday because of Cafe J's, but at least on the off Tuesdays,
Yeah.
that would be.
There
cool.
is another place. What's his name is doing it?
I like it when it's weekly because then you don't have to go, is this an off day?
He does it weekly.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember his
I know who you're talking
name.
about.
Sweat Chuckles.
Oh, Sweat?
Yeah.
But he has his own. It's like the whole music hip-hop
lineup.
thing going on that they do. But I feel like we could. It'd be cool to have a place that's solely dedicated just to
comedy.
For the comedy, yeah.
Yeah, I think
that way
that'd
you don't
be
have
cool
no confusion.
too.
You don't have people showing up thinking there's hip hop stuff,
Right.
And then
There's been a couple people that I think have tried to try to realize that idea, but it just hasn't happened yet.
I have a question. Do you have any because we're going towards the year's pretty much kind of almost over, and are you the type of person that kind of is kind of thinking okay, I want to do some more project next year,
Yes.
for sure, yeah, okay.
Yes. So I have a lot of, so my morning show this last year, we added 4 more radio stations. So now my show is on in Lubbock, Midland, Odessa, San Angelo, Abilene, and Lawton, Oklahoma. So it's playing in all those places now, and we got the Nielsen reviews for them, and the ratings were really good. And so this means people are listening to it. So I'm hoping that next year that I can spend some weekends kind of going between each of those places and trying to hit each of them up often.
Is the plan is to extend your show to more cities also?
Yeah, we're hoping that we're going to get additional stations.
I mean, being the number one show in the morning, that's gotta
it's pretty
help you. That's gotta
open
doors like crazy.
Here for sure, because that's how, you know, that show in February, that's how it's sold out, you know, like it's not just, you know, it's a lot of radio listeners that came, you know. That does help when you're trying to sell tickets.
You had a lot of fans that came out for you, shouting your name, taking their clothes off.
Well, maybe a little bit. That was fun.
A lot of panties on the stage.
That was a fun night. Yeah.
That was a good night.
What happened?
There was none of that. I did get really drunk.
Sounds like a fun night.
It was a fun night. It was all like it was an entire show about relationships, and because it was
a Valentine's Day
and I had just gotten out of a really bad breakup before that, so I was feeling very salty, so I had some shit to say.
Okay.
Do you now, you mentioned earlier Wes really liked your voice. He heard like the radio voice. Did you just comes naturally? Do you practice?
No, I can tell you, this is
I think it's just what it sounds like.
I met her before the radio, so I know that's exactly how she's.
It's a great radio voice.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's good.
I remember because I seen you once at Lantern Tavern probably like a couple months ago, and I remember they probably introduced you as you know, on the radio, and I think my phone had messed up, or my auxiliary cord wasn't connected to my phone for some reason, so I had to listen to the radio. And I did catch you one morning.
Oh, did you?
Sure. Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. And then I did do a little YouTubing before the show, and so I did. Who was the guy that you opened up for at Buddy Holly again?
Steve Trevino.
Okay,
you saw the news thing.
They did the news coverage for it, right?
That was weird.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
You were like, so you said something about like.
I said, just please laugh. Something like that.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. I hope everybody laughs.
Yeah. They're like, how do you prepare? You're like, oh, I just rehearsed to my cat or something like that.
Yeah, I was like, I tell my jokes to my cat. He likes them. That's what I said.
You started to say
cats are good. Yeah, the cat's fine. I have 2 more now. I've got 3. One's getting their balls snipped in the morning. I know.
They're not gonna like that.
Poor little guy.
Okay.
What were you gonna say, Haley?
I was just gonna say, you know, like with your boyfriend, you were practicing like all, you know, your set.
Yeah.
I did that with my kids, and I remember like going through the first time, and they're like, "Dad, that sucked."
Yeah, it's funny. So the first set I wrote was all about that, like, just like about dating shitty dudes or whatever. I don't even know. I'm divorced, by the way. So like I was with a really. Did you not know that?
How do you know you were married?
I was with somebody for 9 years, and they were a very 15? Nice person. No, I'm 35 now.
Is that why it ended? Because they were a very nice person.
Yeah, that's probably why. They were too nice. I had to let them go. But after that happened, I've been like a bag in the wind dating some fucking shitty men, and so that was my entire first set. Was just all about that, and the guy that I wrote it about. Before I went back up to Minnesota, I drove towards where he was, living at a man camp, working in an oil field. I went out there to see him on my way. This terrible, toxic man tried to push me out of the car. I still want to fuck him. You know, it's disgusting. I can't. I'm sorry. So anyway, I go to his house. I go to his place or whatever, and I'm like, baby, you want to hear my stand-up? Because he knew I was going to do stand-up. And he was like, yeah. And he like has some headphones on. He's listening to it, like laying on the bed. And he took babe, are these jokes about me? Are these jokes about me? I was like, does it sound like you? Because you sound pretty bad, huh? It was really bad. It was really bad. That was like the end of it. And then I just yeah. So that was
that was the guy you divorced?
No, that was the guy that was trying to push me out of the car on I-35. Okay. The guy I divorced was very nice. He would never do that. Yeah.
Shout out to the nice guy.
He was too nice. Shout out to the nice guy.
One of your bits that are my favorite is the one when you're singing actually about the worst roommate you ever had.
Yeah, Mel, my roommate from hell.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
to me, that's gold.
Dude.
The first time I heard it, every time I seen you perform that one, that's my favorite.
That's the first one I ever did live. That was fun.
Yes.
You said Mel,
my roommate from hell. Yeah.
She's playing the piano at the same time. Telling the whole story.
I tell a story.
It's super cool.
I came home and she stole a bunch of my stuff. And
so does a lot of your comedy come from like the worst people in your life?
Yeah. Well,
you turn tragedy into comedy.
Well, it's also like an over like. So if you're someone that has seen my stand up or whatever, I mean, you guys have. Mm-hmm. All of it is exaggerate. It's all an exaggerated. You know what I mean? Like I'm kind of a punk rock sort of piece of shit person,
yeah,
but also like I went to college, I have a degree, my dad's got a PhD. I'm not like, you know what I mean? But I make bad choices still, like dudes with the felonies I like it. I don't. So, but anyway, it's exaggerated. So I'm not as like as somebody at Mono Negra that one of these last shows.
Somebody tried to save you after?
No, he came over to me and goes, "Did you really date those men?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, I did," but I don't think any of it is quite as bad as I make it out to be. It wouldn't be funny if it was, So,
okay.
I don't know. That's just been my shtick lately, though, is relationships stuff.
How's this year been, like, in general, like comedy or
comedy's been fun. Comedy's been super fun. Career's been good. It's everything.
The relationship part.
Right? But I'm not.
Like
I
Taylor
think I
Swift.
feel better alone. Yeah, I'm a little T-Swifty right now.
Like the relationship gives you material.
It does.
And kind of moves your career forward.
Recently, I started dating a guy that I knew from high school that was in and out of jail his entire life, but he was a really great musician. And I was like, he was sober, and I was like, oh sweet, I've always wanted to fucking date him. And he was really great at first, and then he decided that he really liked heroin and other things more than me, and so. Which led to me like picking him up off a park bench one time, and I was like, what are we doing? We have the #1 morning show, okay? We have all these things we have 3 beautiful cats. We live in the tallest building in town. We have all these good things. Why the fuck are we picking up a man from the fucking city bus stop over at United?
Because it's hot.
Because
I've heard it's sexy in a way.
I don't know what it is. I have no idea.
Now, did you physically? Sorry.
No, I didn't physically pick him up. He just texted me and said, "Baby, I'm on the bus stop."
Okay.
I went and got him.
I could just see
that
you just
relationship did end with a phone
carrying
call
him
to the
over your
police.
shoulder.
So he is gone now. But he didn't hurt me or anything. He just was crazy person.
I remember I was at I think it was like an AA meeting, and there was this girl, and she was emphasizing so much.
Is it an AA meeting?
Why is that question
Go
like-
back.
I had no idea. I didn't know about this about you.
I've been to lots of AA meetings.
No,
It's
that's
fine.
just
It's
where
fine.
that's just where he goes to pick.
I'm pretty sure. You know what? I'm lying right now. I never been.
He's never
right.
been.
I've never been.
That was a joke. This was a joke.
No, but there was this girl one time, and she was like just breaking down how much she was attracted to junkies. How like when they're skinny,
there's
and
something
like, weak,
about them.
and like there's like so you just want to help them.
They need you. They need you so bad. I know.
It's a maternal instinct,
I need someone to need me really bad.
Yeah.
And also sure. I like little weak pieces of shit. So.
Don't say that.
No, I don't know what I do. I think like I'm getting better at being alone, though. More comfortable, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No, it's.
I think it's a good thing.
Is it a good thing?
I believe we learn to cope with whatever life is giving us at that particular time. But in reality, since I know you a little bit, Chrissy, I tend to believe that you're a bit traditional per se.
Yeah, I am.
Really would love to have
hopeless
a family,
romantic. Yes,
have a husband, a couple of kids, or whatnot.
Yes.
And that's just for knowing you for a few years, right?
Yeah,
that's what you really want, basically.
Yes.
I mean, you can be married and feel alone too.
Oh, I know I was. I already experienced that.
Damn nice guy.
So
Yeah, I think I thought whenever I got divorced, I was like, he didn't do anything wrong. I just was like, I asked him one day, do you like being married? It was like 3 years into being married. He goes, I don't know, do you? And I go,
Wrong answer.
Not really. I go, not really, do you? And he goes, not really. And I go, well, what do we do? And he goes, fuck it, let's order pizza. And I was like, okay,
Nice.
let's do that. So we did that, and then we were divorced we moved apart like a year later. So, I don't know. It was very weird. It's weird to think about that even happening in my life, because I feel like my life is so different now than that whole chapter was like.
yeah.
Does something does that pop up anytime somebody asks you if you want pizza?
I'm like, do you love me or not? No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, pizza's okay.
Most people I don't think really know that I was married. I talk about it every once in a while on the radio. I think people also want you to like there to be a reason why, like who did what. It's like nobody did anything. We just.
Were you dating a Ninja Turtle?
Guilty.
You want some pizza? Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Anyway, what else we got?
She is sleeping.
That's fine.
There's producers just chilling back there.
She's having a little.
She looks so peaceful.
She does look peaceful.
I think
She kind of looks like an angel, just with the light like right above her.
The producer is sleeping.
About 2-3 hours now, huh?
Yeah.
Dude, what time is it?
She's killing.
I don't blame her.
But okay, so like this is pretty much like a new show. So Chrissy's our guest, but we're all friends, but we're still kind of
Show.
Yeah, this is a show, not a podcast. It's a show.
Podcast.
How has everybody's year been, and what do y'all have any like plans for next year to try to like when it comes to like comedy or whatever?
Well, I kind of live like pretty much week by week. The plans that I have, I know I'm going to have a show with Greg Duran in November. I still don't have all the details. He already contacted me for that. Shout out to Greg Duran from Midland and Odessa, that area. He's super cool. And after that, I'm going to Mexico in December, at the beginning of December.
Okay.
And then coming back, we'll see.
What part of Mexico are you going to?
I'm going to Hermosillo in the state of Sonora.
Okay.
It's kind of side border from Arizona.
I'd be lying if I said I knew where that was.
I was
at,
gonna say, how do you say that in white people?
Yeah.
Because I don't. What was it? Sonora.
Hermosillo, Sonora.
Okay. I don't.
I've been to La Ciudad de Mexico, which is Mexico City. Yeah, that's where my dad's side of the family is from.
Did you see how I struggled translating?
I'm trying.
Mexico City.
Yeah.
He's like,
I can pull it off.
I was like-
Mexico City.
Yeah, I can pull it off.
Did you feel white for a second? Because I did.
Dude, I'm just super
Dude, I know.
white.
We are really
Do
white.
you have any plans coming up?
Me?
Yeah, hell.
This is it. You know?
That's what I was getting to.
I was like the producer, like they put like this big black thing here just so like you and me would pop. You know, like that background back there, just
ghosty.
like
I'm ghosty with the mosty.
ghosty with the most. And I don't know.
Did you guys dress up for Halloween?
No, I worked on Halloween. Yeah.
I was an inflatable eggplant.
Okay.
So it was
That's
good.
pretty.
I was just a security officer.
You were a security officer? Oh.
I took my old uniform from Disney World and I put it on.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Handcuffs, right?
Yeah, I got that.
Now, did you use the handcuffs
Oh,
later?
yes, several people.
Several
Shaped like
people.
Mickey Mouse.
Several people.
The handcuffs are shaped like Mickey Mouse?
No.
What?
Well,
No way. What?
I'm surprised Disney didn't like collect. They let you keep the uniform.
Me too.
Yeah, like.
Well, they
I mean,
didn't
he had
really
to
let
buy it originally, you know.
Huh?
Oh, you just
You
took
worked
it.
at Disney World?
Yes, I
That
worked
is
there for
so cool.
12 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
I was in merchantainment at the beginning because my background was in sales, but then I discovered that security gets paid a lot more money and they do
Yeah.
a lot less. And I said, wait a second, I'm a big guy, I can take care of myself.
Yes.
So I switched to security. When I was in security, I discovered they have an elite group called the PCOs, plain clothes operatives. This is basically undercover security. This was after 9/11, so we did a lot of surveillance, counter-surveillance, anti-terror tactics, dignitary detail, retail theft, sting operation.
That's
when
crazy.
Osceola and our
Did you have a lot of action?
Yes.
Really?
Oh yeah, people think they can get away with a lot of stuff. There's cameras everywhere, bro. And again, there's a lot of people on the cover keeping an eye on everything.
Did you hear about this guy? Okay, so you're talking about Disney World, right?
Correct, in Orlando,
Okay,
Florida.
so I guess there's an island that's like they don't use anymore. It used to be like a zoo or something. And I heard some guy. I seen this YouTube video where this guy he like I don't know how he breaks in, but somehow he breaks into this island. It's like the Disney World island that's like just not even open because it used to be like a zoo. And he like staked out there for like I don't know, like a whole day, and then they called the cops on them and everything. So you never heard of it?
Was it at the Magic Kingdom? Because at the Magic Kingdom, I remember they closed what they call the Tom Sawyer Island.
Yeah, that's where they had the
That
animals,
used to be
right?
right there.
Not like
really,
birds and
they
stuff
have-
or something like
Well,
that?
there's wildlife everywhere in Orlando. You have the small little gators and of course birds and all that kind of stuff. But when it comes to basically like a zoo, is the Animal Kingdom Park.
Okay.
But the Animal Kingdom Park, yes, it has a few islands, but they're populated per se. There's rides and there's stuff that people go in there.
Okay.
So
Are you still
I don't know if
friends with a
Sequoia's
lot of
on it.
people that work there?
I still, we're Facebook friends and stuff
friends?
like that. There are people who've been working there for many, many years. They're very good friends of mine.
I always thought it'd be fun to be an entertainer at Disney World, or just like be in one of those little shows. Like whenever when I was a kid and we would go to theme parks and stuff and see them like do the musicals and all that. I always wanted to do musical theater. Like I grew up doing musical theater. Yeah, I really wanted to be on Broadway. That was like really what I would like to do if I could just, sing and be on Broadway. That's what I would want. But I used to think that Disney World would be, or Six Flags, any of the places that did it.
Well, I got to see a lot of people doing auditions and stuff like that, which that's how everybody starts, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting. And there's a lot of them. They're super professional.
Yeah.
And they're very good at it. And you just can tell where they're waiting online, practicing their stuff. And you're like, oh, wow, that's a lot of freaking talent right there.
No, there's some super talented people that do that. So I remember watching them and thinking, I want to do that. When I was a kid. So that's cool. You worked at Disney World. I didn't know that.
So when I was in elementary school, right, I was seeing like the therapists. I don't know why they chose me to see the therapist, but and it was weird too because she would take me. So inside the cafeteria there was a stage, and then off to the side of the stage where there was like this little small room. And now that I think of it, it's kind of weird. But like she would ask me like questions like how I'm feeling, whatever. They just thought I needed like a therapist or some shit for some reason. But anyways, this has to do with this has to do with theater because I guess I was part of a play and I was playing like King George or something like that. And apparently like I killed the role. Like I did great. And the girl I used to see, she's seen that. And she was like, "This is what you need to do." And I think she even tried to like reach out to my mom to try to get me to like
into acting.
Theater, but like it never happened. And so but it was pretty funny though. Like that's kind of what she wanted me to do. And another thing too, I was in another play and I was playing. It was like a Christmas play, and I was playing the little drummer boy. And I went rogue, and I just went off script, and because I was just supposed to have a little part, but for some reason, I decided to walk all the way around the audience playing my drum while the show was still.
How old were you, by the way?
I don't know. I was. Did
they love it?
It fucking killed. It did great.
How old were you?
It was in elementary school. I was probably I was like.
I thought it was high school, college.
No.
He went rogue.
If anything,
He's like 6.
That's probably why I didn't get into it. Because at first, my parents probably just like, why is this therapist reaching out to us, telling us our kid? This guy's gonna get a job and work, a real job. You know what I mean? I don't know, but so I just went rogue and played my drum, and I did fucking good. And then I don't know, but now that I think of it, it's kind of embarrassing. Like,
I think it's funny.
it's kind of funny.
Dude, if I think too hard about anything, it's all embarrassing.
Yeah.
I can't. If I think too hard about anything, I'm like, I'll just crawl in a hole.
For like the last 10 minutes, I've been stressing out about poking you for translating Ciudad de Mexico. And like the pause, I'm like, dude, everybody's going to look at this and be like, that guy is the biggest dick. And I was like, but like what I was thinking, I was like, man, like when you're thinking a language, it's really hard to like, switch,
I think English. You kind of. Yeah. English was my first language, but I do know a good amount of Spanish. Yeah.
Well, I speak Spanish too, but like when you switch, like I remember traveling with my wife, and I would be speaking English to her, but I thought I was speaking Spanish to her, but I thought I was speaking English, and she's like, "Haley, I don't understand anything
I didn't
you're
understand
saying."
what you said.
Yeah, was I just speaking Spanish?
Were you drinking at the time?
Yeah.
He's like heavily.
Have a Diet Dr. Pepper, man, just smashing it.
A lot of DPs.
Like a 64 ounce. Do you guys remember the 64 ounce Cubs?
Yeah, I do.
Miss
They make those illegal in New York pretty quick. I think back in the day, the Big Gulp.
Do you guys overthink? Sorry, I want to come back to that. You brought, like, you thought that, that overthinking stuff.
Oh yeah.
You do that?
Yeah.
I like, dude, the only time, the worst time I ever bombed on stage was at the Culture Lounge. There was a show there. This is like 3 years ago. Okay.
I've never seen you bomb.
This was the only time, I think, maybe. This is a word. Okay, there's been, you're very sweet, okay? Other times, there's been times when I did okay, but I didn't do my best. Okay, and then there's been times I did really good, but this time was really bad. And I get to the Culture Lounge, and they're having like they're doing like a whole like talent thing. So they got rap, they got I'm the only white person. Okay, let me just preface it with that.
It was kind of like an underground type of rap, very dark and very ghetto kind of thing, but it was very interesting.
It was cool though, and like they invited me to do this thing, and so I was like, okay. So I show up to it, and they're like, you're gonna go on. They knew how to get up early. They're like, you're gonna go on at 8 o'clock, and I was like, perfect. I get there like 6:30. It's like BYOB. I bring a bunch of IPAs because I'm trying to get somewhere, you know.
Yeah.
So I start drinking them, and I'm waiting to go on. So then like 8 rolls around, 8:30. Aaron Durbin comes by to hang out with me. He wants to watch it, but it's 9 o'clock. Then it's 9:30. Then Aaron's like, I gotta go. He leaves. I'm drinking. I drank all of those IPAs. Waiting. We're all waiting on Sweat Chuckles. If you watch this, we're all waiting on Sweat to get there. He shows up fashionably late, you know, like 10:30. So then I'm fucked up. And so I get on stage, and the first 3 minutes was killing it. Everybody was laughing. I'm talking about, I don't know, but as soon as I got to my joke about my dead turtle, I lost everyone in the audience. I lost them all, and it usually did really well at their places, but I didn't know how to recover from it because I had never experienced this. So I look up, and I had never heard no one laugh, you know, or something. I don't know. That sounds fucking dumb, but it's true.
Or like when you're expecting a laugh and you don't get it,
dude.
It
messed with me so bad, and I look up, and everyone in the audience is looking down at their phone. I have no one's attention at all anymore. And I just and I was so frustrated from being there for so long and drunk that I just said, I was like, and I'm not even gonna get to my punchline because you guys don't like my jokes. I'll see you guys. I was like, have a good night. And I just walked off the stage, y'all. I walked off the stage. This is what I did. And I walked to my car, and I open my car door, and I get my car, and I'm like, oh, where's my phone? I had to fucking go back in there, go back on the stage.
Nice.
While someone else is performing now, get my phone, I with my tail between my fucking legs, and like walk back out. And this one dude was at the door. He's like, "Yo, girl, I don't know why you stopped. I thought you was funny as shit." I was like, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." And I left, and like I got home, and Stephen
like, girl, my turtle died too.
Dude, yeah, see, yeah, exactly. So Stephen Feldman, another comedian that used to, he's really funny. He was my old roommate, and he moved to Dallas, but I got back home, and I was like, Steven, I was like, sat down. He was like, do you want he was already drinking. I was like, pour me one of those shots. I was fucked up. I was like, dude, I like bombed so bad. And I told him what happened. He goes, why don't you just say something like, well, do black people not have turtles? He was like, why don't you just save it with that? I was like, I don't know. I just felt, I don't know. I don't know.
That would have made it worse.
I don't know if it would have helped. I was like, it would have helped for you because you're half Jewish and half Mexican. So, like, you would have been able to fucking say some shit. But
so your dead turtle joke bombed in front of a hip hop crowd.
Bombed in front of the hip hop crowd. Dead turtle was not for them.
You should have been like.
Should have just.
I didn't have any. Like, the turtle's name was Tupac. They'd be like, yeah.
No, dude. The worst part was that like I didn't.
Laughed, that's
like at this, like if this had happened today, I would have been fine. I didn't have enough material. Like honestly, like and like also like the way that I had been doing my jokes at the time, everything was very much in order. And like if I got out of order, I couldn't fucking pick it up or like find it again.
Yeah.
Now I can just like draw from like all these different things and or whatever, or I can do crowd work. There's a lot of things I could do now that I just was not comfortable with then. But I had also that had never happened to me. So I was like, dude, for days I was laying in bed, and these are people I've never met, people I'm never gonna probably see again. I just was like,
yeah, but it hurts so bad.
I wanted to die, dude. Even when I think about it now, I'll still get like that like weird like
just that quiz. I know that feeling.
That was bad, man. And it was I would not have handled it the same today, but like
There's that confidence, like you gotta have that confidence push through the silence.
I did not have it.
You know, to just kind of keep going.
Dude.
See, I did the right thing. I bombed the very first time I went on stage.
Oh, see, there you go. You set the
Did
bar
you
for
record
yourself
it?
low.
No, I didn't record it. I went on stage with the green hoodie and sunglasses on. I looked like I was about to bomb the place.
Okay.
You probably were you?
Yeah, but that was the.
You were like, yeah.
But like, I think I was just kind of trying to like, I don't know.
Hide?
Just so I could try to do whatever I thought I was gonna do, and it bombed. Like I talked about Okay, when I was a kid, right, this is a true story. My mom told me the story. When I was a kid, she took me over to her friend's house to swim in the swimming pool, right? And I was swimming in the swimming pool, and then like I yelled out to my mom, I was like, "Hey, mom, I need to go pee." And then the friend was like, "Oh, yeah, it's fine. Just like it's okay. Just let him go pee inside the pool." And my mom was like, "Oh, like just go pee inside the pool." Like she said, it's okay. I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I walked up the steps outside the pool,
and you peed into the pool,
and peed inside the pool. Yeah, and that was. And I told that story on my first open mic, and it bombed. But like,
that's so
then somebody
cute.
told me, somebody told me that like, there's a difference between telling a story
and telling
in real life and you know doing it to a crowd.
Yeah, for sure.
And then also
that's funny as shit.
My friend that got me into stand-up comedy, his name is Clifford Nagorski, and he's back in California. He's really good. He's great. He has like short films right now too and stuff. Shout out to Cliff. But he's the one. If it wasn't for him, I don't think I would have got into stand-up comedy. And but he was one of the first people that told me that like expect to bomb all the time.
Yeah.
Don't expect to even do good even after a year.
Right.
Even after a year, look at yourself and think like, am I doing good or you know? Because like I don't know.
Dude, when I look back at old stuff that I thought was really really good back then, like it's just different. But also I think you have to find your voice. Like that's another thing. So it's like you go, okay, who am I? You know, and then you're like, well, who do I want to be on stage? Does it have to be me? Can it be somebody else? Is this like, you know, because some comics, everything they say is bullshit, you know, and some people draw from their life. I think it's easiest to write about what you know. That's what they say to do, write what you know. So I feel like that's an easier thing to do, but also like if your life is a fucking dumpster fire,
well, you know, at the beginning,
that's what's gonna happen on stage.
You know, you're just trying to get a laugh.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so like sometimes you write jokes that like 100 other comics have written, you know, and but you're just trying to get the laugh. And that's kind of the learning process. And then once you figure that out, then you can kind of start to
be yourself,
find your own voice.
Yeah, I feel way more like I don't really feel like I get nervous anymore. Like I feel like I just don't give my give a fucks went away or something.
Yeah,
and they think that like helped. You know, Wes Nessman, my partner on radio, always says this. You know, check your fly and own it. You know, and walk with authority. And, you know, act like you fucking run the place, even if you don't, and you're terrified because everybody around is feeding off that energy or whatever. So, you know, even if you're not even sure what the fuck you're going to talk about, smile and, you know, just fucking work it out, you know? He's always just like, just fucking do it, okay? It's like, okay, you know, so.
Fake it until you make it.
Really, really, really. Because also, like, and also remember that the audience, like, they're already impressed that you're up there doing something they've never done. You know what I mean? Like, especially if you have the musical element, you know, Rafa, you're always like, talk about like having music on stage, it kind of elevates your performance a little bit. So like even with the piano, whenever I do that, having that barrier with the music, with the sound, the piano between me and the audience, there's something about that added layer or whatever. Like not only like even if I get up there and I get dry, I suck on the piano and I'm at whatever, they're impressed that you're even doing it to begin with, and they don't know what to expect. So just fucking do it, and you know. And they want to laugh. They want to laugh.
They're there. They want to laugh.
So like, give them the benefit of the doubt, and just and also remember that not everybody's a mean piece of shit. You know, like I think that's what a lot of people are afraid of, like getting on stage and people booing. Like that doesn't. I've been to so many open mics.
I've heard that kind of. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that I've heard of multiple people, like not personally, but I've heard it's a thing for people to like, for their friends to tell them, hey man, you're funny, you should do stand-up comedy, and then they try it and they bomb the first time, and that's it. They never.
And then they never go again.
And I think that's bullshit. Like,
well,
don't let that. Because nobody's gonna
hold
remember.
You back, right?
Yeah, nobody's gonna.
It's like karaoke.
Yeah.
Do you remember the person that sang bad at karaoke last night? No. You remember the one that sang good probably, but you don't really think about the one that sang bad. So.
And then another thing too that I think.
Hold on. Why do you think they just give up? Why do you think they quit? Why do you think they don't?
I think they just don't want it.
Yeah,
it's just like because I think like I said, I don't want to call myself a stand-up comedian. I'm an open micer, but I think. I've ate shit plenty of times, but the only reason why I keep going up there is because I don't give a fuck what people think about me to a certain extent. You know what I mean? And to me, and another sick part of my mind is like, let me go up there and see if I could fuck up again. But I do want to do good. But like, sometimes I've showed up to mics before. I'm just like, you know what? I kind of just want to suck tonight.
Right. Right.
So you do it on purpose, okay?
No.
I think sometimes people just think it's going to be easier than it is.
And then for the record too, I'm self-aware, and I know that I've had jokes that may have made people laugh. I don't think like I'm the shit or nothing at all, right? Let's make that fucking clear.
He thinks he's the shit.
He thinks he's
the shit. I just said shit.
If I write probably, like as soon as I get 20 minutes worth of material that I like, I'll be the shit.
Yeah.
Well, I believe when you bomb, it really affects you to your core, and you self-doubt yourself, and you start questioning yourself, why am I doing this? If this is a possibility that I'm going to feel this bad, I what the fuck am I doing to my own self?
Yeah.
I better don't do this anymore.
Yeah.
And once you get into that side of your mentality, it's very hard to come back from that.
Yeah.
I've found that running to the fear makes it easier.
I think so too.
Well, if you're mentally prepared, like Angel was saying, that I'm going to bomb, it's going to happen, you're already, ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Because even if it happens, you already knew what's going to happen, and you're kind of ready for that. But if you don't see that as a possibility, and you think you're just going to be funny no matter what, and then you bomb like crazy, and it's just the shock of it just kills you.
I think
having expectations is
right.
I mean, it teaches you. I mean, like if you don't get a laugh,
you have to learn from it.
And some people don't learn from it, and they just keep going and keep doing. But you know what? We had a guy who I won't mention who was kicked out of our comedy scene years ago, whose name starts with an M. You know who I'm talking about? Anyway, he would get on stage and he would come to everything and he would bomb every time, every night, over and over. And we didn't like him, okay? We'll put that out there, but we accepted him.
It wasn't even funny to watch him bomb?
No, it wasn't fun. It was like it would take the show. The shows were really good back then. Our open mics were tight. They were all pretty fucking good.
He was basically ruining the show.
He was ruining the show, and it just over and over. But he didn't stop. Bless his little pea picking heart. But like it was just like, God damn. Eventually the person that's just bombing, they'll get over it and they'll stop. And some of them don't. Some of them don't. And whatever. But I think it's not like he had a career on Netflix coming, So I think there's different. Some people do stand up for fun and they just want to do their job forever, and some people want to pursue it.
So, okay, another thing I want to bring up now too, because it kind of sounds like we're talking about like comedy and maybe advice. I mean, even though I'm a beginner, I know when to be giving advice, but I'm not gonna say the name or nothing, but there was one person who started coming around to the mics, and I don't think he planned to do it, but he ended up going up and he ended up coming back for like probably a couple of weeks. But I think what turned him away was the people, like the other comics, because I'm not gonna lie, this guy was like, he wasn't creepy or anything, but he was just a little weird and off, and like he wasn't a bad person, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that like he texted me a couple times, and I never texted him back. It wasn't personal, but this dude like just stopped showing up to the mics because I think he was more just trying to make friends.
And that's okay too.
Which is okay.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah. I mean, for a lot of the comics,
do more. But what do you want to do more? Do you want to make friends, or do you want to like, try to get funny over time?
Everybody has their own goals, Yeah. I think the best way, because sometimes I see drama and stuff in the comedy scene. Like, I think the best thing to do. Did you say
sometimes?
I see it. I don't participate in it, because the best thing that you can do is just work on you and not be worrying about anybody else. It's like there's a whole lot of drama going on for for no reason. It's like why is everybody pointing at each other? Just fucking do your shit. Get the fuck off the stage and shut the fuck up.
It's about the comedy.
If everyone could just shut the fuck up. Yeah, everyone. Why don't you go home and work on your shit before you guys start arguing? Like, why don't you do that?
So pretty much this show is brand new, and I guess it sounds like it's going to be based around comedy, and and we're all stand-ups, and I don't know, this seems pretty fun so far. I don't know, am I breaking the third wall?
Do you think you guys are gonna have?
Am I breaking the third wall right now?
Well, it's probably time to wrap up.
Yeah. What kind of? Do you know who your next guest is gonna be?
No.
We're in the works of that, but
Not any advice?
Comedy is the one thing we all have in common right here.
Yeah.
But I've been thinking about getting a different type of guest, just for the fact that
I thought we would try to get the new owner of the Mono Negra.
I was gonna say business owners
Yeah.
and stuff.
yes, we want someone that is
He's cool.
basically he's
the
doing
new
something
owner?
for the community.
The new owner of that facility that kicked him out.
Lachine?
Get him on here and have all the comics show up and just rip the crap out of him.
Roast him? I would love that.
That would be
What do you
amazing.
think about
No.
Catfish him into it.
So different business owners and stuff, though. That's cool.
Yeah.
Hey.
Whatever. I mean, I kind of want to like dip myself into the city a little bit more now. It's just kind of because I know, okay, Lubbock, from what I am seeing since I moved here is that they're very like a lot of people. The city is very involved. Like there's like the sense of community where there's like the art stuff going on, and there's like the stand-up comedy. And then I trip out on how like they're asking stand-up comics to like host like other events going on in the city, which I think is cool. Yeah, so
It is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of fun opportunities here. It's a lot more. Lubbock can be fun if you live in the fun bubble. You know?
There's a lot of unique characters out there.
There are.
And there's a lot of artists and stuff like that.
There's a
And
lot of talented
And
people
those are
here.
people who, they're interested people. Regular people, normal people tell you to, I just don't see
Nah.
what's the point of interviewing them, you know what I mean? We gotta get the weirdos in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Since we're kind of going towards the end, just like a random thing, do you guys have any favorite food places in Lubbock? Today I had, I'm going to go first, I guess. So I had,
You started it.
I had this place called, do you guys like Indian food?
Yeah.
I went to this place called Mirch Masala.
Oh, the place is so good.
Yeah, I had like their spicy butter chicken with rice and like
What's the name of it again?
Mirch
Marsh
Masala.
masala, it's so good.
Another honorable mention, Jim Dandy's Burgers is good too.
Oh, I have
And
not been there.
I tried Bonus Burgers for the first time yesterday.
Bonus
That's
Burgers
pretty
is good.
too.
What do you like,
What do you guys
Henry?
got?
What's your favorite in town?
Man, we don't eat out. I've got two kids who are super picky, so I am the cook. I make
You never
tikka
eat
masala.
out. Haley's never been to a restaurant in Lubbock. He can't even name his favorite.
Come
on.
maybe Las
What?
Brisas.
Okay,
the company
yeah,
took me
that's
to
a
Las
good answer.
Brisas.
Snooty answer.
Kind of like, but I don't know.
Las Brisas is good.
I don't know if
It's
like I
Mexican?
would.
It's delicious.
The company paid for it. I wouldn't.
It's Mexican.
It's
Go ahead, sorry.
It's
No, it was a steak joint, but
That's where a lot of people take their blind dates right there. So
Las
a good
Brisas?
that's where
spot,
you
yeah.
take your blind.
I was about to say, there's some
I go to La Diosa.
La Diosa.
Sesame
I like La
downtown.
Diosa. Ooh,
Oh, you know what? I
Sesame's
spotted
good.
you when I first started doing open
Oh, here
mics.
we
I
go.
spotted you at Copper Caboose one time.
Oh, yeah?
I didn't say what's up to you, but because like I think we had barely briefly met.
Copper Caboose is
yeah.
good.
Hold on, I do have a favorite place.
What
It's
is it?
The Chick-fil-A on 114.
He likes that Jesus chicken.
The Jesus chicken, but the play place
Dude,
too.
they had that pimento cheese
You know.
fucking thing.
I tried that.
It was so good.
good.
It was fucking good. I
Yeah.
have not been to Chick-fil-A on purpose like my whole life until I went and got that. Ever. I've never wanted to go ever because
How
fuck
do you
them.
accidentally arrive at Chick-fil-A?
Because I saw
It's
an
always like somebody's
advertisement
kid
for
is
that
like, "Let's go to
sandwich,
Chick-"
and so I was like, I really want that, and I hope no one sees me in the drive-thru. That's all I could think. Anyway, I don't like Chick-fil-A, but my favorite restaurant in town is Bangkok Thai restaurant on 34th Street.
They got a good
Also
pad
like Picante's
Context.
delicious
Oh, I've heard of
breakfast
that. I've had
quesadilla.
that before.
So good. It's BYOB too.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
Oh, okay. Did you say?
Oh, Evie Mae's.
Oh, Evie Mae's.
yeah.
Evie Mae's barbecue,
Evie Mae's
man.
barbecue.
I gotta
Yum.
plug that.
Right. I went there. My folks, my family came to visit from California, and
Yeah.
I took them there, and that was my first time too. But I knew I heard a lot of stuff, so like, I was like, my family's coming down to Texas. Like, I gotta give them some real fucking Texas.
They like
barbecue.
it?
Yeah, they really liked it.
Oh, yeah. all right, guys.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anything else you guys want to add?
I think it's time.
Yeah, but I just want to say this is a brand new show. This is fresh. We're planning to have a lot of fun and do some crazy shit.
It's gonna be dope.
Yeah,
Thank you
it's
guys for
gonna be
having
dope.
me.
No, thank you for being our guest.
Thank you,
That's
Chrissy.
super cool.
You're
from
very
you.
welcome.
Thank you, Chrissy.
Anytime.
All right. Cool.
All right.
What's up?
Peace.
Peace.
Bye.
Good night.
Un, dos, tres,